What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Monday, June 10th to all of you. It is a new week, a new opportunity to get that cash. We're coming off a very, very good week last week. One of the best weeks I can remember us having as a show. I messed it up on Saturday at the Belmont. Bad day at the Belmont. Started off with a win on the first race, and then it just went to shit. Bad day at the Belmont, but I got 65% of it back with the Bruins yesterday. And the under in Sunday Night Baseball, that under in Sunday Night Baseball, courtesy of Dave L.A., who's also on a tear right now. I'm looking at the names on the chat. So many guys are on a tear right now. One guy especially who we need to keep an eye out for, Ron Crawford, on an absolute tear in MLB. But shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Vinny Cornell, Joe Rich Ramirez, Demetrius Miller, Ron Crawford, Cobra Sports, 609, James Spina, Carlos Peroge, and his cheesy balls, Dom Ricci, Galloway fam, saying Golden State with the money sign. Man, how often have we heard that? We've heard that every game in this series, and the backers of the Warriors have been successful once. And we have guys saying, oh, it's a lock, this, that, about the Warriors. Now, I'm not going to make a move. I mean, there's so much on the line for us up north. There's so much on the line, and it almost makes me not want to bet it. You know, it's almost like you can only lose. But if Durant is in the lineup, and that is confirmed, and the Warriors become favorites, I will take the Raptors. I will take the Raptors. But other than that, I'm just going to sit back and pray all night long. But there's Galloway fam. Thank you for joining us. Poker Addicted 79, Ty Clinton, Jerry, Beatty, Douglas Robinson. Anna Merrick, there's our guy. Anna Merrick says, good morning, low baggers. How about that UFC 238 plus 10 units on the parlay and picks? Cejudo by KO plus 320 in the main event. And parlay plus 778. Gorgeous. Anna Merrick, absolutely beautiful. Our guy, Anna Merrick. Dave L.A. announces, happy Raptors Day, everyone. Let's get this final win for the Raptors. There's John Fiddleson. King Rail says, hope y'all tailed the Raps. Alternate line on Friday, minus 3.5 plus 275. That's back-to-back alternate lines that King Rail's been on. Games 3 and 4 in Oakland for huge scores. Shout out to you. There's Adam Morera. Now, as Dom Reach says, in my opinion, there will be no Yankee Mets game tonight. Looks like a good chance for a rain, especially because it's a 2-game series and both teams are off Wednesday. Thank you for that look. There is rain in a couple spots, but I was reading just light rain. But Dom in New York knows exactly what's going on. Look at Ron Crawford, 13-2 weekend. There's Brendan Cruz. There's Ty Clinton, Paco Healy, our San Diego Padres expert in that was unbelievable in that place. And said, told y'all Cejudo would get it done in round 3. Great work. Great work. We got Russell Gordy. Tom Ricci, I said all right. Tom Marino, Tom Morales, Hayes, Jose Contreras, Raul Porwando. Okay, here we go. Ron Crawford. His plays are Yankees -1, Philadelphia -135, and the Dodgers -162. Ron Crawford. That is the first copy and paste play of the day. There we go. And let's go. Fail of Life says Jimmy got the booze-faced puffiness. Yes, I did not sleep very well last night, and I was quite perturbed at the Belmont. Tomarino Tomor says Warriors lost game 3 because Thompson didn't play. Curry had no legs for game 4. I think the value in game 5 is the under. Warriors won't play as fast with Durant. Well, let's wait and see if Durant is in the lineup. Enough of this. Durant may play. Durant questionable. Let's make decisions on it once we know he's in the lineup. But I like it. I like Xavier Oliver, Cole Coleone. Dom Ricci, Hitzer, Winston, $22 horse, and the $98 exacta. Oh, unbelievable. Great job, Dom. Respect. Unbelievable. I just, there was a rail bias all day long. Incredible run by Joel Rosario to find the rail. I don't know why JJ Castellano didn't do that with spinoff. And then there was a speed bias all day. No closers were coming in. And no closers even came close. I mean, Taxes came running, so mid-closer. But none of the deep closers were there. And then, of course, there's Sir Winston. Great job to all. But somebody said, Jimmy, my man, how about them Giants on Friday? Man, it was a fishy line. I'm very thankful I've stayed off of that game, off of the Dodgers. which looked like a slam dunk. I mean, look how bad, how horrible that that situation looked for the Giants. Their starting pitcher had been just beyond awful, but they just step up against the Dodgers. They step up and step up and step up against the Dodgers. I was thankful that I didn't make a move there. Baco Healy says Raptors close it out. Remo says I think Raptors take this one tonight. Dad Fence says need to have a Sunday show. I went with the Blues. You would have saved me if you said Bruins. I did say Bruins. If you follow on my Twitter. And remember, I said that on the show. I said Blues game 5, Bruins game 6, Bruins game 7. Now, Dave L.A. made a great point when I made Bruins game 6. He said, why don't you take Bruins to win the series at plus 240? And it was, or plus 245 at some books. And I just want to go game by game. But I said that on the show, Davin. I said that on the show. All right, and Russell Gordy says right to it. Pirates, Dogs, Miami Dogs. There we go. There's Russell Gordy in the house. Copy and paste that. All right. I love this schedule. I love having one NBA game and then 9 MLB games. We traditionally do very well when we can really deep dive in all of these games. There's Picasso that probably did 10-team parlay yesterday. Saved my whole week. I love seeing that. And America said, Jimmy said Bruins way ahead of time. Yeah, I said that on the show before Game 5. Before Game 5 of the Blues, I said Blues, Bruins. So that's 7 straight in NHL. There's Big Ragu. Jimmy had 6 winners in Belmont Saturday. Didn't have the Belmont winner, but had the exacta. I saw you have the exacta. That was just spectacular work. We work with such great cappers, and Big Ragu cashing for everybody. Great job. Jesse Williams says, rip Golden State, don't matter if Durant plays. Von Post said, if you looked at every race Saturday at Belmont, the number 1 horse was always in the money for every race. Yeah, it was. Yeah, all right. Okay. Russell Gordy said, Jimmy needs a weekend show. Said that, got to do Saturday, Sunday with over 100 games in MLB. Yeah, but then how would you start your week Monday morning without the bag, huh? Come on. But I hear you. I mean, I get you. Bricker Overland says, bet reverse puck line for the Bruins and cash plus 270. Absolutely great job. I came close to taking the under 5 in that hockey game, and I'm very thankful I didn't, although it looked like it was the play. I'm very excited about Wednesday night's Game 7, and I think I know exactly how I'm going to be handling it. And one of the spots will be the first period under, and I'm close to going back to the first period Blues. We'll talk about that. But James says Dubs roll tonight. Eddie Obason says, yeah, we fading Vargas today. Can't have 2 solid games in a row. He's had more than 2. I'm surprised you guys want to do that. Dave L.A. says, I took the Bruins plus 245, and now I can take the Blues plus 110. I get it. But if I go 2-0 with unit bets, I'll do better than the hedge. Right? So if I take the Bruins game 6 at plus 105 for $200, gives me $210. And then I take them again, let's say they're minus 140. So it gets me like, let's say $150. I guess you're right, $350. And then you have $490 and $310. I guess that gives you, that was just what our guy, a couple people were saying that being the play, but I just felt more comfortable at this spot going game by game. But I understand that. Russell Gordy says, I must say Raps win. Jimmy, congrats now. This KD hype is pointless. Wow, Russell Gordy come full circle. Rod Sawaki says, Bruins are winning Game 7. You know, they had no pressure on them. I know it sounds crazy if they lose, they watch the Blues hold the cup. But all the pressure was on the Blues, and now all the pressure goes on the Bruins, and we have 48 hours to cap it and break it down. So we'll take time on it. Arhay says, I'm not fading Darvish today. Cubs my dog of the day. And Carlos Bro says, KD won't be 100%. Raptors get that chip. Antoine Seymour says, first quarter going over next game in Boston, Jimmy, or first period going over next game in Boston, Jimmy. Wow, Antoine, interesting. I don't think, I mean, the way I've been watching this game, that first period is a feeling out process. It's very conservative. But I hear that. Tom Marino says, Bruins have been great all playoffs from facing elimination. They played their best one down 3-2 to Toronto. And Eddie Obason says Bruins are destined to win the cup. Von Post says, I hit the exacta for the Belmont race, but I only put $3 on it. Stupid me. Yeah, it's, at least you got it. Okay, and Von Post says, sucks to go for the Triple Crown. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. What a horrible Triple Crown. I mean, we hit the winner in the derby and get disqualified. I missed that exactor by a paint hair in the Preakness, and it was bad. Okay, let's get to work. We are going to be joined in 34 minutes by our guy, Drew Martin Betts. And Russell Gordon says, how's were you? Only minus 140.84 in sale, minus 250. I agree with that. All right, let's get to work. There's Raven in the Desert. There's Carlos Peroches. Any news on Miami? We're still in negotiation period. I wish I could tell you more. But I can't. All right. Mr. Ghost is a little worried about Jordan in Game 7. I think that, the Blues had the Stanley Cup in the building and now get a second chance at it. I think they're a very dangerous squad in Game 7. Extremely dangerous squad. Now, they'll be dogs, pretty big dogs. I guess not that big dogs. You know, interesting. Some people say that the Blues would be plus 110, but I think they'll be bigger dogs than that. We'll have to see. But I mean, a plus 130 from the Blues would not surprise me. But they're going to be very dangerous. And Binnington getting a second opportunity is huge. It's huge. It's just huge for the team. All the pressure is going to be on Boston in Boston. And, you know, we have 48 hours to continue capping it. So I hear what you guys are all saying. Jerry Bates says, I think Pitt Angels are live dogs along with Arizona. All right. Dom Reach says, isn't every team dangerous in Game 7? Well, sure. But I guess, Dom, what I'm saying is that all of the pressure is squarely on the Bruins' shoulders now. The Blues weren't supposed to be here. All of the pressure was on them in Game 6. Finish off the fairy tale ending at home. So I feel like the Blues now, after experiencing the cup in their building and coming up horribly short, it'd be different if they came up short in overtime. But they played bad. They got beaten. Soundly. And I think that makes them extremely dangerous, where Boston is expected to win the cup in Boston in Game 7, and that's what I mean. So I think that having lost so badly, a bounce-back spot, I very, very likely will be on the Blues first period and the first period under 1.5. That's what I'm thinking. And Jose Contreras says, my book, Blues are plus 140. Well, there you go. So plus 140, I guess 490, and then so you got 2 plus 245. So if I made it $200, I bet I'd be up 490 minus 2, 390, 290. So yeah, you know, I'm going to make a little bit more money, Dave, without hedging. Now I know that sets you up for both, so you can't lose, and that's why you're in a good spot. And I hear what you're saying. Cole Scoleone says, Jimmy, has the Raptors won every game that you wore your cap? No, I wore this cap also Game 2. Okay, let's get to work. Mr. Ghost says, tight Game 7 or open ice kind of game, Jim. I think it's a tight Game 7. I think this will be very similar to Game 7 Bruins Canucks. I think it'll be very, very similar to that game. I think it'll be tight. Okay. John Infex says, anybody on NBA over 212 tonight? I took the over in Golden State for a fat 2-team parlay. I think that we need to know what's going on with Durant before we can make real sound decisions on pace. So we will talk more about that. Guru Sports 7 is on Marlins full game Rangers first 5. You grab that. Here we go. Copy there. Okay, sorry. Want to see that copy and pasted there. And Rod Zawak says, Bruins have been there, done that. Blues now have all the pressure trying to get the cup. Oh, the Bruins minus 1.5 easy. I don't disagree with it all. I just disagree with that breakdown. The Blues were last place at January 1st. The Blues season has been an enormous success story. If they lose in 7 games Stanley Cup Finals, it's still an enormous success story. If the Bruins lose Game 7 at home, it's a enormous loss. All the pressure is squarely on them. I'm not saying they haven't been there, done that, but truly, all the pressure's on the Bruins. The Blues can go in there focused and without that heavy weight. So I disagree very much. And I hear that you guys backing it, but I disagree with that breakdown. Poker Addicted agrees with you, Rod. I disagree with you. Gate Pass Key says Bruins getting all 4 lines rolling last game and will continue. Blues just cannot compete with a full Bruins lineup. Puck line Bruins blowout. I mean, you've said that often in this series, Gate Pass Key. You've said that often in the series. And it just hasn't been happening. And it hasn't been happening in Boston. And remember that St. Louis Blues road record. I think it's a mistake if you guys would just write off the Blues right now. I really do. Okay, let's get to work right now. We have 9 games plus an NBA game. We're going to be hammering the NBA game. Yeah, in Ron Crawford's spreadsheet today, I already copied and pasted your action. Ron Crawford, thank you for sharing. It's the same stuff, right? Yeah, I already copied and pasted your Yankees, Philadelphia Dodgers. Thank you so much for sharing it. I have made one play so far today, and Big Ragu on Texas first 5 plus a half at plus 135, and Washington first 5 minus half at minus 115. Those are great looks. I really like that Texas first 5. Thank you for sharing that with us. Gate Pasky said happened last night. Gate Pasky, I was on the Bruins. But you've said it often, and you've said it often in Boston. And there's been 3 games in Boston, and Boston's lost 2 of them. And an important member, I know it's a fourth-line player, but an important member of the Blues was suspended for last night's game, and he'll be back in the lineup. And the Blues won't have that huge amount of pressure. It was such an easy cap yesterday taking the Bruins, and that's why the public destroyed and made so much money. Okay, let's get to work here. Okay, Tomer says, Blues road record is great, but home teams usually win Game 7. I get that. Johnny Colton said, took Bruins money line yesterday, went 9-0 yesterday in MLB. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Poppy Longwood said, Jimmy, pray for Big Poppy. Oh, yeah, got shot last night. Terrible news. It sounds like that he didn't hit major organs and everything is going to be okay. But yes, Big Poppy was shot in the Dominican Republic yesterday, and sad stuff, but sounds okay. So I want to focus on this Warriors-Raptors game when we have Max Senpai. Dad Fan said, didn't the last couple teams lose? Yeah, they did. You know, that's going to happen. It's still a spectacular record. And Matt Randall making these plays. Matt Randall knows what's going wrong. And one of the things Matt Randall's losing is on Fridays and Saturdays with the taint play of the day. But, man, there's going to be losses. I mean, you can't just win. Okay. Robbie Top says, how devastating to see the cup across from your bench ready to win on your home ice and you couldn't get it done. It's over Boston all the way. I couldn't disagree with you guys more. I really disagree with you guys. I'm not saying Boston's not going to win in Game 7, but there was enormous amount of pressure, and the Blues know they have another chance. They have another chance, and that makes them very dangerous. I couldn't disagree with you guys more. Gabe Pesky said it all along, said it all playoffs of Boston and went 6-2, focused on the 6 wins and the 2 losses. I get what you're saying, but they've made me money on they've made all Boston backers have made money on this playoff run. But we've had 3 games in Boston. People have been all over them, and they've lost 2 of them. And for you guys to write off the Blues here, I just think that you should spend a little more time capping this game. I'm not saying they're not going to win, and I'm not going to be on the other side of you guys just to prove a point or anything like that. But I've hit 7 in a row in the NHL playoffs. I'm closing the season with 7 in a row. Actually, Rafa, could you put up that NHL record? It's looking nicer and nicer and nicer and nicer. 7 in a row. I'm back where I was at the start of the playoffs, and I got killed early in the playoffs, but I'm back where I was with this 7-game winning streak, 3+ lines within them. And I just think the Blues are so dangerous in this spot. So dangerous. James says Bruins roll. Everybody's saying that. Eddie Obasoan says Blues chance was in Game 7. It's over, in my opinion. Every single person is saying that. So let's all just witness what we're saying. Every single player is saying it's over, it's over, it's over. And I just couldn't disagree with that. Couldn't disagree with that more. Okay, so we're going to spend the Warriors-Raptors spot. I hit again with a plus 170 and messed it all up by Kyle Lowry not getting over 10.5 points and rebounds. And also by jumping on it in the 10.5 and not waiting for the 11.5, I got minus 140, which really hurt. So, Rafa, could you put up that basketball record? I wish it was gorgeous. I mean, hitting all these plus lines, you'd think it would be gorgeous, but I only went up 0.3 units in that last spot. So, last game, which was a joke. When you're hitting these big plus lines, you'd think you'd have something to show for it. Now, betting-wise, I did put $200 on the Raptors plus line, or money line, and 150 on the player prop, so it wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad. Rod Zawaka said, yeah, because we smart betting on Bruins to win the cup. Yeah, look, you guys, I don't know what you wanted me to say, but and I'm not just going to be on the other side to prove a point, but the Blues are going to be extremely dangerous. I will be on them on the first period, and I will probably be on the under 1.5. Okay, let's go. So Warriors, Raptors, I want to know more about Durant. I want to know if he's in the lineup. We know the Warriors have been on both sides of this 3-1 series margin. They were down 3-1 Oklahoma City in the Western Conference semis, came back and won. They were up 3-1 against the Cavs and lost. We'll talk more about that. Antoine Seymour said, Jimmy, what props are you looking at today? I need a little more time. I need a little more time at this spot, Antoine, but I'll have them all ready to go on the late show. I've been going back, and I didn't go back to the well with the Kawhi points, which was a mistake. I've got to do the Heritage prop video right after that, so I'm going to deep dive then, taking more time. Sweaty Butcher said, I'm taking Blues just to fade this public Bruins mayhem. Torino says, Bruins have won 2 in Boston, but Binnington needs to make 38 saves on 39 shots in game 5 and 2. Was overtime. Blues can win it, but it will take a near perfect game from Binnington. I agree with all that. I agree with all that. James says Binnington won't produce in Boston game 7. I love a goalie getting the opportunity to come back after getting lit up when you can win the Stanley Cup. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, let's get to work on this baseball card. And Pronosticos Deportivos says Kevin Durant will play. Yeah, I mean, I get it. And there we go. There's Matt Randall. There's my guy Jonathan Succi as well. There's Matt Randall saying, Taint play today. White Sox money line. Like their spot here in the plus money. Never afraid to take a big score with the Taint. Oh, there's our guy, Matt Randall. There's our guy. Matt Randall can copy and paste that. John Succi said, Spinoff put up a fight, brother. Not enough of one. I don't understand for the life of me why Castellanos didn't just find a spot behind Jovia and stay on the rail the whole race. It was perfect setup just to go to the rail behind Jovia. Who cares if you get a little dirt in the face? Okay. All right. Dominic says, first Belmont I had in 4 years. Great job. And Sweaty Butcher says he's not going to play. Yeah, let's wait and get more information before we cap that whole game and break it down. Rafa, could you put up the MLB record? So I came in a week ago, Monday morning, just afraid and scared, down over 31 units. So it was a nice 13-unit week last week. The record's still terrible, but let's just keep hammering this in. Let's just keep moving forward. All right, let's start with A's Rays. Tanner Anderson, the Harvard graduate, making his first MLB start. He made 6 starts out of the bullpen last year with the Pittsburgh Pirates, going up against Charlie Morton with the 20-game unbeaten streak. A's 15-18 on the road. Rays 17-14 at home, but 40-24 overall. Tanner Anderson's numbers in the Pacific Coast League with Vegas are terrible. 4-4, 6.26 ERA, 1.68 WHIP, 54 2/3, 37 Ks, 26 walks, and 54 2/3, and he's allowed 14 home runs. 14 home runs in those 54 2/3. The Rays can be patient. The Rays smash righties. Rays are hitting 264, 794 OPS versus righties. A's are bad versus righties. Hammer lefties. Versus righties are 236, 718 OPS. Let's see what kind of favorite we are talking about right now before we dive too deep here. Spreads and total, sportsbookreview.com. Here we go. Let's see what we're dealing with. Tampa Bay opens at minus 175, yes, and it's now minus 198. Huge favorites. And if you wanted just to focus on Tanner Anderson and fading Tanner Anderson, what would you have to do for the first 5? Still minus 130 at BetOnline at minus a half run. Huge favorites. Jay Money says, I'm on Rays run line big. Rays run line big. Q Pacer says, Tampa Bay Rays run line again. Russell Gordy says, Rays roll. We rarely see Russell Gordy back a favorite, so when he does, you can have a lot of confidence in this spot. Let's see what we get for the minus 1.5 here. Point spread, full game with the Rays. Here we go. It'd be a plus 100 spot. That's the best line, or a minus 105. Doesn't sound too horrible. Both teams spent all of last week on the road. Rays went 5-2 Detroit and Boston, while the A's opened a 10-game trip going 4-3 against the Angels in Texas. Oh, one thing that may help Tanner Anderson is that Bo Taylor, his catcher in Vegas, will be behind the plate tonight. Let's see if that helps him. Charlie Morton's pitched shutout ball for 6 or more innings 4 times already this season. Tom Reno says, I'm not laying minus 200 with Morton. He's good, not elite. Wow. Jesse Williams says, Tampa Bay best bet over 8.5. That's probably a nice look. If they can get anything on Morton. Well, what about just the Rays team total over? Why don't we take a look at that quickly? Rays team total over. Here we go. Tampa Bay over 4.5 at minus 127. And first 5 here over 2.5 at minus 121. You know, I like that look. Oh, Lamont Williams says my max bet is in. Where is it, Lamont? I can't find it. Lamont, oh, there it is. My max bet. Diamondbacks money line at plus money is Lamont Williams max bet. Wow, exciting. I'm going to take that right here, copy and paste it. There we go. Paco Ely says going to fade the world and tail Jimmy on the Blues if the price is right. Paco Ely, and I have not made a move on the Blues yet. We have 48 hours more of study and time and watching interviews and things like that. So, Poker Addict says A's accidentally slated the batting practice guy Tanner Anderson as starter. Tampa Bay will absolutely destroy him. Dave LA says Rays -1 and lean under. -1, let's quickly look at what we'd get on the -1 line if we were to take it here. So on the point spread, we'd get a plus 100. On the money line, we'd get a minus. Here we go. A minus 198 or minus 191 or minus 190. The Intertop's new wager. All right, let's just take a quick look at what we get. So money line would be minus 191. The run line would be plus 100. That gives you a minus 146. Eddie Obasoan says I'm on the Rays in every way. You know what I'm going to do? Poker Addict says 6.26 minor league ERA. I mean, that isn't the PCL league, but it's still terrible. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'm just going to take the Rays on the -1.5. That's at plus 100. But then I'm going to take the Rays to get to Tanner. And over 2.5 first 5 at minus 121. Over 2.5 first 5. Lamont Williams says, how do you get a -1 on the Tampa Bay game? It depends what your size is, but you just bet enough on the money line to cover your run line bet. So for me, I have $125 units for baseball. So I would have to bet $82 on the money line. And then I would bet $43 on the run line. And the run line would be all profit if they only win by a run. Dave LA said, Jimmy, take Rays first 5 then. You know, first 5, I don't like the minus 140s, Dave. -0.5, minus 140s. I just don't like that much, Dave. I'd rather get a plus 100 here. I mean, I know I could take them on a -1 and do a -1.5 or -0.5, but I'd prefer here with the Rays coming back home, just the first 5 team total over 2.5 at -121. These A's bats don't hit righties. I get it. Elise McWilliams in the house. Tom Reach said Diamondbacks is my other play. I mean, I'm getting the over 2.5 here at -121. I'm going to take it. First 5 over 2.5 at -121. And full game over 4.5. Full game over 4.5. And that's at -127. All right, I'm going to stick with that. You're right. -121 I find more appealing than minus. And then Antoine Seymour going on the super run line. I'm going to stick with that action right now. Okay, let's move on to Mets-Yankees. Light rain I have, but Dom Ricci thinking that this game will be postponed. Let's get a look at quickly what some other sites are saying about it. Let's go with, here we go. See what RotoWire is saying, if the game will be played or not. Quickly here, MLB lineups, daily lineups. And yeah, it's not looking great. 61% rain, 55% rain in the Philly-Arizona game. Both games dealing with rain. Russell Gordy saying unders to play. I get it. And Dave L.A. took Rays -1 and -130 as soon as the A's news came out. Great look, Dave. Absolutely great look. All right, well then, let's go back to the Mets, Yankees, Diamondbacks, Phillies. Let's come back to it right now. For the next 14 minutes, let's work on the games that we know are going to be in. And then when Drew Martin joins us, we'll see what he's talking about. Art Hayes saying it's raining, looking ugly here in NYC. And Don Reed saying it's a 2-game series. Jim, both teams are off Wednesday. I hear that. So let's just focus on the games that we know are going to be banged out. And let's start with this Rangers-Red Sox. We already know Big Ragu on the Rangers +0.5 first 5. And that's a pretty nice look with the way Mike Minor is pitching. Jesse Williams liking the Mets at +170. I agree. The Mets are very appealing, but let's just wait right now. We know that Tanaka just had the birth of a child. Extra rest, but that's not really extra rest when you're dealing with all that stuff. So let's just focus on the games we know are going to be on, and then we can touch on them when Drew Martin joins. Rangers, Red Sox, 73 Fahrenheit, overcast, 9 miles per hour, sideways left to left field. Rangers just 10-18 on the road. Red Sox just 15-15 at home, surprisingly. Let's see what the market's offering us up here in this Texas-Boston game. The Rangers opening at +212, and that's where they stand right now, so there's been no movement there. Let's look at Big Ragu's Rangers +0.5, and that is +135 at bookmaker, but +125 or 130 at the other books. Poker Addicted says +200 or better with Miners, nice value versus a pitcher that's won twice all year. Name aside, I get it. And there, Q Peso. It is Q Peso's birthday. The father of Sweet Lobagalin. Q Peso being with us from the very beginning. Happy birthday, my guy. Much love to you and your sweet family. I predict a very successful year for you. Our guy, Q Peso. Happy birthday. Michael Latore saying Rangers +1.5 full game at +110. Jesse Williams willing to pay the -250. Eric Jones saying Boston over. Let's see what that total is. Sorry, let's go to spreads and totals here. Or money lines and totals. Here we go. Oh, that's first 5. Let's go full game. Full game. Opened at 8.5. There's 8s at Pinnacle and Heritage, and 7.5s everywhere else. Wow. 7.5s everywhere else. Let's see what they've done with that first half. Texas, Boston, first half. Opened at 4.5. Now it's 4s. Wow. Astute Chaos saying I'm liking Texas, Boston under 7.5. Drew Daddy, we're not sure at this point. Tomino says Miners giving up a lot of hits even though his ERA is low. Tough to pitch that way at Fenway. Red Sox don't hit lefties. 242, 737 OPS. Red Sox coming off losing 3 of 4 to the Rays. Boston outscored 21-9 in that series. Sale coming off a 3-hit shutout against the Royals on Wednesday. Second immaculate inning of the season. Only pitchers other than Lefty Grove in 1928 to do that twice in a year. Sale's ERA has been rolling. 2.28 ERA over his past 7 starts. 7-2, 2.82 ERA in 14 career games. Rangers come in rolling 9 of last 13 games. Still 9.5 games back of the Astros, but they're playing good. Number 2 offense in the majors. Red Sox number 5 offense in the majors. Minor 2.08 ERA over his past 8 starts. Minor 3.77 ERA against Boston. Dude, low key. You're impressed I've never had to use the bathroom during the show? All right, thank you. I'll take anything. Jerry Beatty says, happy birthday, minus Wednesday, but I'll be working. Well, we will give you a happy birthday, Jerry, on Wednesday. Don Ricci said, hard to back any unders with Texas when it's 8. Paco Healy said, July 13th, the low back LA crew will be coming down to Petco Park and drinks in the gas lamp corner. Oh, my God. Wow, Paco Healy, that is so cool. Man, I wish I could fly in for that. Saturday, San Diego. Oh, man. Dan Kelly says Jimmy's going for the adult diaper sponsorship. Hey, whatever brings in the paper. I understand Ragu's look at +0.5 for the Rangers. I'm not sure if I want to get in the way of Sale at this point. East Van Pork Chop, my guy East Van Pork Chop's on the under 4 first half. Paco Ely says the real question is when is Lobagalin's birthday? That is a good question. We should be celebrating that. All right, my guy Elio says I'm bookie killing this week. Let's go. I like it. There's Alex Ramirez. Okay, I'm not going to make a move on the Rangers-Red Sox at this point, but I can understand. Guru Sportsman says Texas first 5 money line going for a score with minor on the bump. I get that. Okay, guys. All right. Okay, here's a move I made on the morning lines not that long ago, just like an hour ago. I took the over 8 Cardinals and Marlins. I got minus 109 at Pinnacle. I bet it at minus 115. Let's see what it is right now in the Cardinals Marlins. This is a play that Dave LA led me towards. And let's see what it is. Full game over 8. And wow. 8.5s across the board. 8.5s across the board. I only got it an hour ago. Finally, Gin Rummy can be proud of something I've done. Finally. Okay, let's talk about this. First off, Waka versus Alcantara. Waka has had 2, so he lost role in the starting position. He's had 2 appearances out of the pen. The first one was atrocious, 6 runs in 1 inning. The last one was pretty good, 2.5 innings of shutout ball against the Reds. So that is a sign that Waka could possibly improve, but he's vulnerable. There's no doubt that he's vulnerable. Then we have Sandy Alcantara, who looked very good in his last start, 3-5, 3.80 ERA. So 2 things about Sandy Alcantara. 1, this is the team that traded him. Is he going to try a little too hard? Is he going to want this a little too much? I'm not sure. I can't say that. But I do know that Alcantara is 2-1 with a 1.36 ERA during the day and 1-4 with a 5.92 ERA at night. So here we have Alcantara, who might be pressing too much. We have Waka. We have 2 pitchers that probably don't deserve an 8. And then we have these 2 bullpens that are tired and beaten up. We know that the Cardinals bullpen was heavily used against the Cubs in that sweep. And this Marlins team used 7 relievers in Sunday's game. I can't believe Sergio Romo still has the opportunity to close games. He's absolute trash. Waka 2-0, 4.60 ERA, 3 career starts against Miami. We'll see how he handles this. I'm on the over here. And there's Skeet Profit in the house. Gate Paskey says, my hometown of Antigonish, Nova Scotia was all over Coach's Corner last night. My buddy Dennis Bonvie and little Ollie Smith and my X-Men hockey. Wow. Gate Pass Key, I didn't know you were from Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Man, great spot. I've done stand-up in that city, and I have comedian friends that were born in that city and lived in that city. Nikki Payne, one of them. She's an extremely funny female comic. And Daryl Purvis, very funny comic. I love it. Okay, so let's keep rolling along. Russell Goy says, there's no talk. Marlins win. We're playing good, then swept by Atlanta. Like Marlins in this spot. I get it. I get why you would back the Marlins in this spot. I totally understand that. Let's see what's gone on in the money lines. Full game here. If you wanted to back the Marlins, where is it? Here we go. Opened up plus 125. There's been a 5-cent move towards the Cardinals and Waka, but I understand the dog spot. All right. And Hunter Engelhardt says, Dennis Bonvie, I'm from Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. He's a god here. I love this stuff. Okay. And Ski Prophet says, not sure yet. I'll have my opinion on the Late Show. I can't wait to hear it, Ski Prophet. I can't wait to hear it. But I hope that you come on the show tomorrow for a review of the NBA season and looking ahead to next year. Okay. Q Peso saying Miami at home is a different animal. Douglas Robinson says, Jimmy, you're a comic. No, I don't. But when people call themselves comics, I was a comic for 19 years, but I was doing 300 shows a year. People use that term loosely. I've not been a comic for a year and a half, or since I came down here, however long that is. I mean, whatever. Okay, let's keep rolling. Okay, Russell Gordon saying St. Louis off travel, like Miami. Okay, but it was my job. This was my first job since Chevron in 2001 was coming down here to SBR. Okay, let's keep rolling. Pirates at Braves, Musgrove, Gaussman, Chance and Golden State in the 8th. Okay, 80 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, Musgrove, Gaussman. So this is the rematch of that start where we all cashed on the over last week. And we were lucky to cash on the over. I was very, very, very lucky because Musgrove pitched a gem. And then in the 9th, he let back-to-back solo shots, which got us the over. And then he was pulled. They ended up getting one more run. The Buccos open up at plus 160. A huge move, a 29-cent move towards them. A 29-cent move towards them. Totals here. Open at 8.5. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. My fault. Sorry, looking at the wrong one. Open at 9.5 is now at 10. People thinking that Gaussman will get touched again. Yes, Rem Most. I can get you that stuff. Yes, Rem Most. And no, I've not had to do that either. Okay. Bada Boom says, love the over. Guru Sports Bet says over 7. Russell Gordy says, I saw your YouTube series, Jimmy. Wow, thank you for watching it, Russell Gordy. Thank you for watching it. Christopherson Lim says, Pirates moneyline, low-hanging fruit. Russell Gordy says, Pirates get win. First 5 looks good. I agree, first 5 looks good. Musgrove looks good. Gaussman is susceptible. It was a very nice bounce-back spot for Musgrove. Do we expect him to do it again? That's the question. Do we expect him to do it again? What would he get first 5? Gaussman looks like he's just about to lose the spot in the rotation. Just about to lose it. They just signed Keuchel. Gaussman is going to be the odd man out, it looks like, at this point. So he needs to have a good start. Russell Gordy says, don't like overs in game 1. Tom Marino says, Atlanta is a good over team. Hitting and bad, pitching bad starters, and bullpen isn't strong. Douglas Robinson says, I want to understand, but I don't think I can get on stage. You just have to force it. D-Bash says, Gaussman is a bum. Yu Chang Yu says, doing any Women's World Cup? I am not, but guys like Angel Romero, we have a lot of cappers that are. I'm sure BidXN is hammering it. We already saw Tomarino Tomor saying, right in that first game for France, says, he took France -2. He said, I love taking the home team as when they're big favorites in the first game of a World Cup against weak opposition. And France was up 4-0 at one point. I don't know how it ended, but I expect that is the play. Jerry Beatty says, Pitt is the play. Gaussman's allowed 15 runs over 6 innings his last 2 starts. 5 career appearances against the Pirates, 1-2, 5.46 ERA against Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think this is Gaussman's last opportunity. I think the first 5 is the best spot to do this. Elio Thompson says, what's the tank play? It's the Chicago White Sox money line. All right, I'm going to jump with you guys on the Pirates first 5. Pirates first 5, I'm getting a plus 123 at 5 dimes. Pirates plus 123, first 5. Let's book it. All right. Okay, let's keep rolling. And Eric Jones says, anytime you see a total of 10 in Atlanta, smash the over. Brian Watson said, who signed Keuchel? The Braves signed Keuchel. All right, let's go through one more game. Let's go through the big spot for the taint play of the day right now. Let's go through the first spot for the taint play of the day right now. And that's the White Sox money line. White Sox money line at home against the Nationals. One thing we've loved about the taint play today is he's not afraid to take these big risks. Open at plus 145. There's been a 6-cent move towards the White Sox. They're now at plus 139 at Bet Online. Odresimer Depagnier, 3-3, 3.34 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, 59 1/3, 56 Ks, 20 walks, 7 home runs in 2 different spots in AAA this season. He's looked good. Anibal Sanchez coming off 2 very good starts for him. 70 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour out to right center. White Sox 17-14 at home. Both teams hit poorly against righties. White Sox average is okay, 252, but 716 OPS is weak. Nationals rating 238, 716 OPS versus righties. Nats have won 6 of 8. Sanchez, no decision on Wednesday, 1 run, 4 hits, 5 1/3, 1 walk, 7 Ks. In his previous outing, he looked very good. And that was when they won 14-0 here against Gaussman. Oh, no, that was last part, but it was against Atlanta and Gaussman. Depagnier, 19 appearances last year between the Marlins and the Angels. Looked terrible, 6.69 ERA. Opponents batted .321 against them. He needs to have a lot of movement. It looks like he does in AAA right now. For his major league career, he's got a 4.94 ERA, 106 games. Jerry B says, Nats traveling cross country, Sox is the play. Gate Pasquito liking Nats minus 1.5. Interesting spot. You know, the taint play of the day here. PD picks liking Nats money line. I love the way Anibal Sanchez has looked. If Depagnier can have an okay start, you might think that maybe the under is a possibility. Let's see what it is here in this Nats game. It's 10.5. You have to think that's a possibility. And it's a 6. An under 6 here. An under 6 first 5 with Sanchez Depagnier. Depagnier looking so good. Russell Gordy says 10.5 means under. Q Peso on Nats and the under. I like this first 5 under. I think Sanchez can pitch well here. Kate Pesky said Nat bats are so dangerous, put up crooked numbers quickly. Elise McWilliams says, I wish we could talk about NBA. We did open the show with NBA, and we need to know what's going on with Durant before we can make real decisions on pace. P Pick says Nats might hit 4 home runs. I watched Depagnier, a few clips of him this year. One with Louisville, one with, I forget the other team. Oh, Charlotte. One with Charlotte. And he looked really good. He had a ton of movement. I think 6 is too many runs. I know this is very dangerous, but I just feel like it's too many runs. Joe Rich says call-ups get rocked. 6. You're giving me a 6 if it gets 7 runs in the first 5 innings? CT Bay says Sanchez is good at Nationals Park. Fade him on the road. Yeah, Russell Gordy says when you return from Cali, waking up early, then fly to Chicago, you need a minute. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Odrismer, PD. You know what? I like the under 6, and I'm not afraid to take it. And I'm doing it. Under 6. See what I'm getting here. 9 miles per hour out to right center. And Guru Sports says Durant will play, from what I've heard from a guy in the Warriors organization. Okay, I'm going to make a move on it. Under 6. I'm getting minus 109 at Pinnacle. I'm going to take it. Under 6. I've had nice success with these 6s, first 5. So I'm going to jump on it. Are we good to go, Rafa? Good to go? Beautiful. There is Drew Martin right now. And the games we haven't talked about are the 2 games that could be rained out, which we will discuss more. We haven't talked about Cubs, Rockies, and Dodgers, Angels. So we have time to hammer each and every one of these games on this card, and that is the plan. All right. Oh, and Russell Gordy said, PD, yeah, his first start versus Nats, Sox, first 5 only. 10.5, not going down in Chicago. Oh, very, very, very interesting. Okay, let's bring in our MLB expert, Mr. Drew Martin, representing South Florida in the house. How you doing on this Monday morning?
Jimmy, I'm doing good, man. Happy Monday morning to you, bro. Good weekend, fun weekend for me. So hopefully everything's good with you in Costa Rica, man. What I heard you say Durant will play. I mean, I know I'm more of a baseball guy, man, but I don't see all the upside. He already looks really good. Obviously, they want to win the NBA Finals, but I was talking with a couple guys, and you know, he's going into a contract year, and they're not winning without him. So if he comes back and doesn't look good, that's a lot of risk for him, man.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure. Nothing's confirmed. We have to see if he's ready to go. Then we hope to. The Warriors have to pull out all stops right now. I don't know. Is it a big risk? I don't know enough exactly what's going on with his injury. We will beat him if he's not. We will beat the Warriors if he's not in the lineup. I think we will beat the Warriors if he is in the lineup. If he is announced in the lineup, I will take the I would like that. I would like him to be announced. I'd like more money to come in on the Warriors, and then I will take the Raptors. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. And then we had a great Stanley Cup final game last night, setting up a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals. And I'm ending the season the right way. Drew 7 straight in NHL, 7 straight, 3 of those plus money line spots. So it's pretty exciting stuff. And NBA, I should be just crushing because I had the Raptors on the money line in game 3 and 4, but I made some mistakes in prop bets, so it's not been as much of a crush as I would hope. But I'm excited. I'm very excited about tonight's game. All of Canada's. I mean, we have people lining up for Jurassic Park on Saturday night, camping out there in line for 2 days so they could be there just outside of the building. So very exciting time for the North right now. But I can't wait to hear your baseball breakdowns. That's what I want to talk to you about. What are you looking at on today's card?
All right, Jimmy. Yeah, it's actually for a short card. I kind of like a lot. 2 plays. I've already bet personally here. Back-to-back Sunday night fading the team that just played on Sunday night. Add in the factor it was Cubs Cards. Neither of the two teams really play well after playing each other. So actually staying here in South Florida, don't bet the Marlins a lot, but in this position, spot play wise, I really like it tonight. We got Waka versus Alcantara. And I'll tell you, Waka, the former first-round pick in 2012, not in good form right now. He does have extra rest, and according to the manager, he's a heavy pencil mark in to start tonight. So if he does, I do have it listed. He's given up 12 earned runs, Jimmy, in his last 7 innings, so not in good form at all. Plus the fact the Cardinals, 641 team OPS the last 2 weeks, one of the coldest teams in baseball. Actually, the only team colder in the last 2 weeks is the Kansas City Royals. So they're just not seeing the ball well, like to fade that type of number. The Marlins on the other side, as we know, one of the most profitable bet on teams in MLB of recent time. Last time out, Alcantara, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run at Milwaukee against that lineup on the road. That's a pretty impressive performance. That's the only earned run he's given up in his last 13 innings pitched. So I think that we get the better pitcher, the hotter lineup at home at a plus price. I think the Marlins are worth a shot tonight, Jimmy.
So do I. But I'm not making the move. I kind of capped my way out of it, capped my way off of it, I should say. This is a spot that a lot of guys in the chat liked. One of them being Russell Gordy. A lot of people liking it. And the only concerns I have is, one, Waka's last appearance was his first good appearance in a long time. 2 1/3 scoreless against the Reds on Tuesday. And that's not my biggest concern. And I don't know if you care about these stats, if you care about day and night, but Alcantara, and the reason why I kind of uncovered this stat was just because I thought that Alcantara was sort of that Jekyll and Hyde home road pitcher like Lopez, and that's what I was going to find. But instead, I found that Alcantara is 2-1 with a 1.36 ERA in the day and 1-4, 5.92 ERA at night. What do you make of a stat like that? Is that something that you care much about, or do you kind of think that the sample size is too small at this time in the year and maybe you don't believe in it?
You know, it's a great question. It's not something that I really use. I would use it more in the day, like on a Sunday, going through the card, how they fare in the day. And to tell you the truth, it might be something, we can always improve as handicappers. If you're not changing what you're doing on a daily basis, if you're capping the same way you did 3 or 4 years ago, you're probably losing money. It's something maybe I need to look at more. But to answer your question, Jimmy, no, it's not something that I've worked into my everyday handicapping angle. But I'm open to learn more about it, and it's always a matter of finding these stats for me, and what is the reason why that's happening. Like the home and road, I get, you're not sleeping in your own bed, you're away from the mound that you like, the backdrop. But day and night, it's almost like I got to find a reason why it's happening. Why do you think it is happening for him?
That is a good question. I think that he's a young pitcher, and that young pitchers often pitch better in the daytime because they don't know how to use the day appropriately like the vets. That would be my only answer, that a 29-year-old pitcher knows exactly how to handle each and every moment throughout the day because he's a vet, and he knows when to stretch, when to do this, when to do that. Whereas these kids, they would rather just wake up, stretch, and pitch, and don't know how to utilize the 5 or 6 hours spent at the ballpark and maybe too much time thinking about the game. The other spot is Alcantara going up against a team that traded him. Will he be trying a little too hard? That's another just question mark. I wasn't sure. Also, the Cardinals just got swept by a Cubs team. Do they bounce back against a much weaker squad? Those were questions that just jumped in my head and made me stay off the game. But I did make a nice move, Drew. I did take the over 8 about an hour and a half ago now, hour 45 ago, and that is now 8.5 across the board. I got minus 109 officially here as a pick, but I bet it at minus 115, so I beat a half-run line move in the morning, which always feels good.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And I like your breakdown on the day-night. That does make sense. I got to spend more time researching it and get a bigger sample size, Jimmy, before I put too much into it. But you might be onto something. That was a good breakdown. And also when I talked about back-to-back Sunday night fades, talking about the Cubs and Rockies tonight in Colorado. The other game that I did bet, one unit on each game. We got Darvish versus Marquez. Rockies minus 125. I think that this is a buy low opportunity on the Rockies. We got Darvish, who has 44 walks in his last 66 innings pitched. I mean, I'd like to think my little league stats are better than that, Jimmy. You don't want to be walking nearly as many batters as he's doing. He just can't find the plate. And going to Colorado, that is a tough ask for him. His last 2 games, he has looked better, but he still had 3 walks in each. So he's not really fixing the main problem in his arsenal. Now you're putting him up in the elevation at Colorado, putting extra runners on base. I don't like that setup at all. Plus, on the other side, we are getting Marquez, who just faced the Cubs and did not do well, gave up 8 earned runs last time out versus the Cubs. But his velocity was still there. Doing some research, his fastball was still 95 miles an hour average in that game at Wrigley Field. So I'm looking for him to bounce back here. It is a kind of shaky situation, and we are getting a buy low price. We're fading the Sunday night team again here. And as far as spot plays go, this is a great spot play in MLB. Outside of that, what LA Angels, or I think it was LA, going from Chicago for 1 game back to the West Coast. I faded that opportunity. Outside of that one, this is one of the better spot plays I can remember this year. So getting Colorado at the buy low price of -125, I like it. I bet it. So those are the 2 plays I've bet so far.
I like your looks. And a lot of people with you. A lot of people backing the Rockies. A lot of people liking the under as well. And it was a smart move looking up exactly, trying to figure out the reason why Marquez got touched so badly by the Cubs. 6.86 ERA now against the Cubs, 1-2 with a 6.86 ERA. And then he's not looked very good at home this year. This game scares me. And Darvish games scare me as well right now. I don't have the right read on them. Dom Ricci taking Rockies money line and Rockies. Dave Ellie saying Cubs fifth Sunday night baseball game. They're 4-1 next game. Rockies travel from New York to Colorado. Dave Ellie back in Cubs first 5. This is a tricky spot. Russell Gordy saying under in Colorado. Cubs bats to sleep game 1. I like your look. I'm just hesitant right now to do anything in Darvish games, especially Marquez too at home. I don't know what exactly to do with. Darvish still has never beaten the Rockies. 4 starts, 0-3 with an 8.20 ERA. Only one start came at Coors Field, allowed 5 runs over 4 2/3. Rockies coming off a 9-1 homestand last time they were there. So it's a look I get. Elio says, I love that play, Drew. Rockies are my favorite play of the game. And then Guru and Bricker Overland kind of feeling the same way as me. Bricker Overland saying, I'm off this one. Guru Sports saying, I don't like this game. Very interesting looks, Drew, and I like them. I'm just hesitant to make a move, and I'm not going to at this point. I would like to ask you about a couple more games. Did you want to touch on that Rockies-Cubs spot once more, or can I ask you about some other ones?
Yeah, no, and you read a stat. The Cubs are 4-1 off Sunday night. That is something I did take into account, and a reason to maybe not do the Sunday night fade overall. So whoever said that, shout out to you. That's a good point. But still going up to elevation, all those spots aren't the same as this spot going to Colorado. But still something to kind of tip your cap to on that stat. And people talking about the over. I was looking towards the over as well. I just personally haven't bet it, but I think that there's a lot pointing towards the over in the Cubs rock spot tonight too. Yeah,
interesting. We got all afternoon to study this further and then do it again on the late show, which I'm excited about. So there are some games that we haven't got to. The 2 games that may be rained out, and then Dodgers Angels. Let's start with Dodgers Angels if you don't mind, Drew. Dodgers 20-14 on the road. Angels are 17-18 at home. 82 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy. 6 miles per hour. Out to center. Let's see what we're getting full game money lines and totals here from sportsbookreview.com. Dodgers opening at -155, a 4-cent move towards them. The total opens at 8.5 and is now at 9. This is a pretty exciting start for Canning, the UCLA product, getting a chance to pitch against the Dodgers here. 2-2, 3.52 ERA, 1.02 WHIP. He's looked very good so far this year. And Ryu would be starting the All-Star game if it was tomorrow for the NL. He's been spectacular this year. Dodgers hitting 269, 831 OPS versus righties. Angels 244, 741 OPS versus lefties. But that number has improved huge. They were getting killed by lefties earlier in the year, and now they're looking much better. Dodgers are 6-2 this month, 113-16. Ryu 2-0, 0.83 ERA in 3 career starts against the Angels. Wow, the guy is just pitching out of his mind. 7-0 with a 0.75 ERA since his lone loss. Angels have lost 6 of 8. Canning coming off a really nice start against the A's. You have any lean on this Dodgers-Angels spot with the Dodgers as big road favorites?
Jimmy, I'll start off with, late night action on Monday night. This is a great game. This is a fun one to watch as a fan. We got the Dodgers with Ryu on the hill, Canning, like you touched on, kind of the LA matchup here. And I'll just, with Ryu on the hill in that lineup, the Dodgers lineup, I'm really not looking to fade it. It comes and you got to bring in the price here, but it does come down to picking winners. And you got arguably the best pitcher in MLB, arguably the best lineup in MLB. It's tough to go on the other side of that. Having said that, we do have the Angels. They hit better at home. We've talked about it multiple times on your show. And add in the fact that you can make the argument they're one of the hottest teams in baseball right now in terms of their lineup, their weighted runs created number, their team OPS. They're seeing the ball well, being at home right now. I'm not looking to lay minus 160 and give that to the opponent that's seeing the ball really well right now. Both lineups pretty hot, yet both pitchers I think have high upside and in good form right now. So the total's about right. And I just think at minus 160, it's a little too pricey to be on Ryu in this Dodgers lineup. So I'm going to be watching as a fan. I think it will be a fun game to watch, but I don't have a bet on it right now, man.
Dave LA says, fade my Angels, please. Take the Angels tomorrow. Ramon Scott says, seems like Dodgers should be closer to $2. Maybe Sharp's keeping this price reasonable for us squares. Interesting look. And then Russell Gordy keeps saying, why is Ryu's number so low, Drew? Do you have any idea why Ryu isn't a minus 200 favorite on the road? Is it because how hot the Angels offense has been in the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I think that's the argument there. Their weighted runs created number, they're number one in MLB right now. Plus the fact that I believe it's a 250-point team OPS split from their road numbers to their home numbers, whatever it is. When this Angels team is at home, they see the ball better, they hit the ball better. So somebody also brought up kind of a sharp angle. I could see that, kind of words gotten out on that as far as the Angels being a bet on team at home and possibly a fade team on the road. But I think it's just tough to make money fading the Angels at home. But you're right. I mean, minus 160, and you can see what it opened at like minus 140. It's been bought up. So the initial number was kind of onto that, having a low number here. It's just a lot going on, Jimmy. A lot pointing in opposite directions here. So I'm just going to watch as a fan.
I hear that. Maybe I need a little more time with it as well. Okay, and then just to close off the show here, the two games we didn't get to were the two games that may or may not be rained out. Vargas versus Tanaka. Yankees can't hit lefties. 236, 684 OPS. They're 2-5 in their last 7. Mets are 12-8 in their last 20. Tanaka coming off the birth of his child. Yeah, he's had 6 days rest, but that's not a real 6 days rest. I feel like this is a spot where the Mets look good. And what Vargas is doing is real. I know people are like the fade Vargas day, but it's real. I mean, he's just playing well here. Do you feel like the Mets are a live dog if this game goes off?
Absolutely, Jimmy. I think the Mets, the lineup, they've been hitting the ball hard. Their hard hit rate is up. Last couple of weeks, they're just seeing it very well. This Mets team is a bet on team for me for sure. Vargas has pitched better. And you bring up Tanaka. I saw that briefly before I got on the show. For whatever reason, I didn't catch that last night. And that's one of the best, the sharpest plays. I love to play an MLB, man. First start after having a kid, especially if it's his first kid. Do you know that if it's his first kid?
It's his second kid.
Okay, still, I like it. I like it, but yeah, that's definitely a fade opportunity and something. If you were looking to bet the Yankees, I would definitely pump the brakes because pitcher off of having a kid, and of course, this is a very tough thing to find stats on. They do not perform well. Obviously, human nature's at play there. So laying minus 190, I would tell you to really pump the brakes on that. Looking towards the Yankees.
I'm gonna take the Mets here. I wonder if first 5 is a better look for the Mets. Let me just pull up their bullpen stats. If I gave you a free play on the Mets first 5 or full game, what would you take?
Give me a second, Jimmy. I'm not sure. I'd have to do a little bit more
5.03
research
ERA
here.
for this Mets bullpen. This Mets bullpen is trash. And as soon as Vargas is gone, you know what? I'm going to move forward on this, and I'm going to take the Mets on the first 5 here. The Mets bullpen just can't be trusted, and opponents are hitting .261 with great power numbers against them. I'm going to take the Mets first 5. I could even get a plus a half, couldn't I? Let me see what I could get. Am I still plus money at plus a half? I am. Plus a half, a plus 100. But instead I'm going to go for the score. I'm going to take the Mets first 5. Mets first 5 at plus 154. That's available at 5 dimes. And this game might not go off, but I'd like to get this in. Mets first 5 plus 154 at BetOnline. The icon is on the New York Yankees. Mets over. Joe Wynn saying first 5 under for Yankees. Guru Sportsbet saying Vargas being good first 5. Mets is definitely in play. Eddie Obasone said if the Jays can hit Tanaka, the Mets will. I like this a lot. Beautiful. And Dom Ricci says the pen pitched a little better. So we will see Dom Ricci, our New York Mets expert. All things New York, all things sports generally. Okay, I like that look. And then finally we have the D-backs, Phillies. Drew Taylor Clark versus Eichhoff. Both teams have almost exactly the same batting averages and OPS versus righties. Diamondbacks going for the 5th straight win. You know, if this game goes off, the Blue Jays are a terrible baseball team. And the Diamondbacks coming off feeling good about themselves, sweeping those bums. Now they're going to have to play in Philly. And Philly just had their winning streak snapped. I think this is going to be a much, much, much more difficult spot for them. Eichhoff ended a string of 4 bad starts in a row with a win over the Padres. Allowed 3 runs, 4 at 6 innings. He had not looked good in his past. He's 3.24 ERA. Bled Stubby says, what's your favorite dog of the day, Jimmy? Right now, I think it's Mets first 5. Moneyline is what I find most appealing, Bleds. And in Guru Sports saying, go for the score, Jimmy. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm going to do. And so Eichhoff 0-1, 3.24 ERA, 3 career starts versus the Diamondbacks. Let me just quickly give you the line here for Arizona, Philly. Full game. There we go. Full game. Philly opens at minus 145. There's been a 8-cent move towards the Diamondbacks. You have any lean here, Drew?
Yeah, you hit on a couple sets. I was looking towards the over. You know, Arizona's been playing pretty well. Lineup seen it pretty good in both bullpens. You know, middle tier to lower middle tier by my numbers. So I think this 9.5. You know, a hitter's ballpark. I would look towards the over. I didn't play it. Kind of just spent, you know, short amount of time on it and then moved on. But I will say this, Jimmy. Great find there with the Tanaka situation, having a kid. I jumped on your first 5 as well, man. Plus money right now at BetOnline. So let's go Mets first 5, bro.
I love it. I love it so much. Drew, thank you so much for joining us. We just love having you these Monday through Wednesdays. Where can we find you on Twitter, and what other shows you got coming up this week? And you're coming to Costa Rica on Thursday, right?
Yes, sir. Flying down Thursday during the day, so hopefully make it by the Thursday afternoon show. Should be there. I think I arrived like 11 a.m. Costa Rican time, so should be good to go. I'll be down in Costa Rica. I'll be back on the show tomorrow and Wednesday, about 11:45 Eastern time. On Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. And to summarize the plays, guys, as far as underdogs, I got the Miami Marlins plus 130. And I just jumped on with you, Jimmy. Great find there. The New York Mets first 5. Big plus money. I think I just jumped on it plus 152 right now. And then also got the Colorado Rockies minus 125 tonight over the Chicago Cubs. So those are the 3 plays I got in action right now at Drew Martin Bets on Twitter. Jimmy, always fun. Good to have Rafa back there. So pure Vita to you guys. See you guys later in the week. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Always fun. Live chat box, guys. So look forward to being on the show with you in person on Thursday, Jimmy.
Yeah, I believe it was Friday, right? Friday Late Show. I'm going to get you in person then.
All right, let's do it. Friday Late Show.
Beautiful. So exciting. Drew Martin coming to Costa Rica. Great plays. Love having on the show. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this Monday. CT Bay saying the Pirates the dog of the day. And Russell Gordy saying Red Sox rally for Poppy. That's an interesting look, Russell Gordy. Of course they would. That's a very interesting idea. Capping angle. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't they after he gets shot into the Dominican Very, very interesting angle. Thank you for sharing that, Russell Gordy. All right, there is our guy, Drew Martin. So the taint play today is the White Sox. Lamont Williams' max bet is the Diamondbacks money line at plus money. Darryl Lyles' max play today is the Dodgers Angels under 8.5. Big Ragoose on the Texas first 5 plus a half plus 135. Washington first 5 minus half at minus 115. And the two dogs that Russell Gordy likes are the Bucks and the Marlins. I'm on the Rays minus 1.5 and plus 100. First 5 over 2.5 minus 121. Full game over 4.5 minus 127. I'm on the Mets money line at plus 154. And then I am on the Cardinals Marlins over 8 at minus 109. That's already at 8.5. And Pirates first 5 at plus 123. And the Nationals White Sox under 6 at minus 109. And that's it for now. Can't wait to have this late show. Can't wait to have Max Senpai on it to talk about this giant basketball game tonight. We also heard that Ski Profit's going to pop in the chat. Let us know what he's on. Oh, I'm so pumped. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Leche, hey, those bookmakers!